Hi, I'm Harvey Briggs, the editor and publisher of Rides and Drives, and today I'm in Sonoma, California, driving the all-new 2024 Mazda CX-90. The CX-90 is a three-row crossover, and it competes with the Toyota Highlander, Hyundai Palisade, Kia Telluride, Ford Explorer, and a number of other vehicles. So the CX-90 comes with 3 different powertrain options and 11 trim options. It leans a little more on the premium side of the scale, so maybe a little more luxurious than, say, a Highlander or certainly the Telluride, but it's not quite to Lexus or, say, BMW level. It kind of goes right in the middle. But the most important thing, I think, with Mazdas is how do they drive? So let's take this for a drive and see how it does. So this is the 2024 Mazda CX-90, not to be confused with the CX-9. This is a very different vehicle. It is new from the ground up, and it will replace Mazda's old 3-row crossover. So let's start and talk about what makes this different, and in my mind, at least 10 times better. This is Mazda's new large vehicle architecture, and in addition to having a 7.9-inch longer wheelbase, it also has the engine mounted longitudinally up front instead of in a transverse configuration, which most of these large crossovers are. Now that does several things. First of all, basically this is a rear-wheel drive platform, even though all CX-90s are all-wheel drive. So the rear wheels are your primary drive wheels on this vehicle, and that means it's better for towing, it's better for performance, and it's better for handling. Also, with the longitudinally mounted engine, that puts most of the weight of the engine behind the front axle. So again, it provides better weight balance front to rear, which is also a big improvement in handling. The other nice thing about a longitudinally mounted engine is it gives the front wheels more room for turning and also for the suspension setup. So where, again, almost all of these 3-row crossovers have a McPherson strut front suspension, this is a double wishbone front suspension. And that makes it superior in terms of handling because it really does a nice job of keeping the wheels perpendicular to the ground as they move up and down. The rear-wheel drive platform is the first big thing. The second big thing about this is that it has 3 new powertrains. Well, actually it has 2 new powertrains, but one of them delivers 2 different power options. So you have a 3.3 liter turbo with a 48-volt mild hybrid system on it, and that is delivered in 2 different ways. The base model makes 280 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque, and it can run on regular fuel. But if you opt for the 3.3 liter Turbo S, they have retuned the powertrain to deliver 340 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. And I gotta tell you, that is a spectacular powertrain in this vehicle. I'm driving the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder plug-in hybrid version of the CX-90 right now, and it makes 323 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque, the same amount as the 3.3 liter Turbo S. Regardless of which powertrain you choose, you get an all-new 8-speed automatic transmission, and it's a really nice pairing with this engine. The CX-90 is available in 3 different seating configurations. There's an 8-passenger configuration in the base model, so 2 up front, a bench in the middle, and a 3-person seating configuration in the back. When you get into the mid-trim levels, you have a 2-2-3 arrangement, and then when you reach the top trim level in the Turbo S, you have a 2-2-2 configuration, although that rear seat is pretty tight for anybody over 6 feet. The thing you'll notice about the CX-90 is basically how premium it feels. It really competes at the top of the segment. It's definitely a step above the Highlander or Palisade or Telluride. It really feels much more like, say, an Acura in terms of the fit and finish and quality of the design. But the thing that really separates the CX-90 from anything else in this category is really the way it drives. And that, again, has a lot to do with it being a Mazda. Their engineers, when I talked to them, they said, look, we really wanted to make sure there was a little bit of Miata in the way this thing handles. And surprisingly, they've pulled that off. The thing that really differentiates the CX-90 from everything else in the category is the way it drives. It really does drive like a Mazda. I like the design of the CX-90. I like the long front hood. The dash to axle ratio gives it that, again, sporty look and feel. The way the roof line kind of tapers back a little bit makes it feel a little sporty. I do love this new color. They call it Artisan Red. It's more of a richer version of their Soul Red Metallic. Yes, you can still get that on this vehicle, but this Artisan Red just feels a little more sophisticated. The other thing is the technology on this has been significantly upgraded. So you have a 12.25-inch instrument cluster that is configurable, and you have a 12.25-inch infotainment screen, which is interesting in that when you're in the Mazda mode, it's not a touchscreen. When you use it with CarPlay or Android Auto, however, it is touchscreen. There is nothing in this category that feels as engaging or is as satisfying to the driver as the CX-90. Now, does it have the roomiest third row? No. Does it get the best fuel economy? No. But if you love to drive, then this is the 3-row crossover you're going to want to buy. So that's the 2024 Mazda CX-90. Tell us what you think in the comments. For more information, check out ridesandrides.com and make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. For Rides and Drives, I'm Harvey Briggs, and I'll see you somewhere down the road.